And our call Dr. Nevas Mumba, Dr. Nevas Mumba, if you're in Zimbabwe, he is the first man to actually produce a credible report on behalf of SADC condemning the Zimbabwean elections. He is waiting, I didn't play whatever he was saying on the live broadcast because I want to make you hear and we'll hear it together. We'll cut it at some point if I think he has actually exhausted all the points that I needed to hear. Greetings and welcome to your lovely channel, the Hlonipani Global News. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. Let's listen to the voice of Dr. Mumba speaking after the elections in Zambia. The whole world is looking at Zambia at the moment. Let's hear what is his input at such a critical moment.
My fellow Zambians, yesterday, the 13th of August 2026, you once again proved that Zambia is a beacon of democracy in the region. You went to polling stations in peace, stood in lines with patience, and cast your ballots with dignity. Believe me, I have been to several countries as an observer, and what we achieved yesterday is very Zambian and historic, and every Zambian must be proud that we conducted for ourselves a credible election free of violence as it took place. And now we are heading towards the announcement of the winner of the election. I wish to commend the people of Zambia for delivering a peaceful and model election. I also congratulate the Electoral Commission of Zambia, the commissioners, the secretariat, and all polling officials for stewarding this process under difficult circumstances. Allow me to talk about the status of coalition today. I speak, of course, as an elder in this nation, a patriot, but also as an alliance partner and former vice president of our great nation. We note that the last polling station was closed at 2 hours this morning. We have been informed that the collation, verification, and certification of results is therefore still ongoing in all parts of our nation. In any election, fellow countrymen, it is not unusual for some candidates to run ahead of the electoral authority, and we have taken note of the Tonse Alliance and NRPUP candidate, Mr. Brian Mundubile, today addressed the media and announced victory based on what he called his party's PVT. I would like to deal with this subject. Let me speak plainly. Self-declarations before the Electoral Commission has spoken are unlawful, misleading, and dangerous. Their purpose is to psychologically prime supporters and sponsors into believing a result has already been decided. This is not democracy. This is propaganda. When done deliberately, it sets up an atmosphere of rebellion and public uprising in advance, not based on facts, but on expectation. It prepares citizens for anger and conflict should the official results differ from that which has been promised to them. That must be condemned without exception by all those who love Zambia. Let me mention something that has been asked of me by many people during the course of today. Earlier today, the ECZ announced a suspension of the collecting of the results and announcing of the results, citing security concerns. And there was also a statement that was made prior to that by presidential candidate Brian Mundubile, where he announced that he had won the election. And some people connected these two to be the same. Let me be clear. These are two separate statements and should be viewed that way. Number one, the announcement made by Mr. Mundubile stands alone based on his own facts, which I've already mentioned. It's actually illegal. But he has the right, or rather to say what he wants to say if he believes he wants to say it. It's up to the law to deal with that. But allow me to mention that the suspension of the announcement by the Electoral Commission had nothing to do with that announcement. This was a security concern. And let me help all of us today. From where I sit, there's information, of course, that we have that will be helpful to the nation. That suspension, as some of you are saying to us, that it was made so that the government or the ruling party, the UPND or the UPND alliance, could go back and manipulate the results of this election and then announce when they are ready. That can never be further from the truth. This is so untrue, and it's improper to even think like that. I'll explain. That has nothing to do with the announcement that was made. It was for security concerns. And the understanding that maybe this suspension was made in order to favor the UPND. Again, that is a misunderstanding. It's a security issue. And we know that our friends in the opposition, you are aware that some developments began to happen in Chinsali today, this morning, around 10, 11 o'clock. Some plan that had been hatched that was meant to shake the direction of this process. You know what happened later today in Kasama at the DC's home. You know what has been happening, which is all orchestrated and organized to bring instability in one way or the other. And I wanted to be clear on this, and I'm not the one to talk about this, but to just let you know that events like that are happening. You know, colleagues, what happened at 3 o'clock this morning in Indol. You know what happened and what was planned to be done. It is these security concerns and many that made the ECZ prefer the security of the nation and the safety of our people before continuing with the announcements. And I think for the sake of security, all of us can wait. So the concept that is being given, that government is doing this in order to manipulate the election, as I've said before, I am an election observer. I have headed a lot of observation groups around the continent. What we had yesterday is a commendable experience. A commendable experience. Zambians, you must be proud of yourself. It is for this reason that I do not think anybody who wants to disturb our legacy of peace and elections of integrity and morality has no space in what we're doing. I want to assure the Zambian people that there is nothing from what I have known, being part of this alliance. I sniff, I look around, and if there was anything that was being done to disadvantage the decision of the Zambian people as to who they want to be president, who they want to be members of parliament, I would never be part of an outfit like that. I did the Zimbabwe election. I did the Liberia election. I did the Angolan election. And I bring the same set of morality, integrity in our contribution to our alliance to make sure that this election reflects the will of the Zambian people. And I think we're on track. I believe we are on track. So to think that this suspension was basically to allow the ruling party to manipulate the election, that is not true. I just want to be clear. It is not true. I want us as Zambians to be calm, to be confident in the system that we have put in place. There are so many falsehoods that have been thrown around in our country in order to agitate the Zambian people, for the Zambian people to rise up or create a chaos in our country, create chaos in our country. Just today, I'm just hearing that there's a rumor going out there that President Mumba has been arrested. There's no truth to that. And yet some people have taken it as gospel truth in order to agitate the Zambian people to react and to do something to sort of override the great success that we experienced yesterday. I would like now to advise all of us as Zambian people, let us be calm. Let us be calm, because we've already done the most difficult part of having a violent-free election yesterday. Let me also mention one of the concerns that is being raised. The Constitution is clear. The Electoral Commission of Zambia, I believe, has up to 5 days to receive, to collect, to verify, and declare elections. They are well within the constitutional time frame. They are not outside the time frame. For context, let me remind the Zambian people that in 2021, voting was done on the 12th of August 2021. The winner of the election, President Hakainde Hichilema, was announced on the 16th of August, 4 days later. And the reason why it was okay is because that's within the time frame allowed by the Constitution. So those that are going out there demanding that they would like the announcement to be made now, today, about the results and the winner of the results, the winner of the election, I think that we are trying to agitate what is definitely not necessary. The ECZ is within its time frame. It is better to be sure that the election results that are going to be announced are announced and they are verified and they are genuine and they are representative of the will of the Zambian people. So it is better that the commission, when they read the mood, that there will be a compromise in the quality of the results, that they decided to do what they did. Fellow countrymen, I want to encourage every Zambian. We have a history as a nation. It's a history of integrity, a history of peace, a history of respect. And I do not see that there's any chance of anybody, whether the ECZ or the UPND, to manipulate this election in any way. And that which is being put out there is basically meant to agitate the country and be able to create doubt in the very process that is supposed to bring us together. There is therefore no basis for the anxiety being peddled that all results must be announced today. There is no need for that anxiety. Let me call on every Zambian to remain calm and to exercise restraint. Nobody will steal this election. Nobody. Nobody will steal this election. The security of the nation depends on the integrity of the system that brings about a president. And we are all aware, for Zambia to be united as we move forward, for peace to prevail in this nation, is to ensure that the process is covered under integrity, transparency, and honesty. And if there's no transparency, there's no peace in the nation. President Hakainde Hichilema understands that. The ECZ understands that. Those of us in the UPND Alliance understand that. It is a requirement that we stand with the Zambian people. And the right president is sworn in. The right member of parliament takes a seat in the House of Parliament. That is our ultimate goal, and not to manipulate any system. We have a president, ladies and gentlemen, in State House, committed to the rule of law. That's one of the first things he did when he became president, to insist on the rule of law. That's why you don't see cadres killing other people across at the market or the bus stations, the cadres are not there because that was his first call of duty to ensure that the rule of law comes to the country. It's his legacy, and you can see by how this election was handled. This election is historic. It's not like another. It's an election in which, if you are not careful, you won't even realize there's an election coming. That's how calm it was. That's how peaceful it was. So I thought that it was important for me to say this because there's a lot of anxiety which is being fanned by people who basically are trying to create a mood. Listen, I have run for president more than twice. I know how you feel when the election is running and announcements are going to be made. There's that feeling of anxiety. But I ask all of us, it's a Christian nation, let's be calm. Let's give time to the ECZ to do their constitutional job. And to all Zambians, please do not be carried away by social media and start to become hyped up by social media. Don't do that. There's a process in this country. We have used it since independence, and it's going to work this time again in our favor and making Zambia to remain the nation that it has been over the past number of years. As someone who has served as an election observer, I have no reason to doubt the commitment of ECZ to deliver a credible outcome. Let us allow our institutions to work. Peace is not the absence of competition. Peace is the presence of trust in the process. And that is my insistence, that all Zambians must have trust in the process. As I speak now, there seems to be so much mistrust amongst us. May God help us to know that we need to repose trust and confidence in these institutions that we ourselves have created for ourselves.
So that is Dr. Nevas Mumba. I think we've heard Dr. Nevas Mumba. We've heard Dr. Nevas Mumba. He insists that everything is above board. He insists that the process of elections, there is nothing amiss with it, that Zambians should relax at this point. There is no rigging of elections that is going to go on. And he goes on to say he has experience with observing elections on the African continent, and he is of the opinion that what has transpired so far in Zambia is in the best interest of the Zambians. And also, take note that he has said, there is no arrest that has been done to the opposition leader, and I have not seen any address even being announced by him. The only thing that he said was that he is being interrogated. Well, that is scary. And he's also calling people to actually save what they receive or consume on social media. Social media seems to be giving a big problem to politicians. I think it's something that we have, and it's something that will actually stand the test of time. It's better they get used to social media and not seek to be prefects of social media, because in social media you get raw information, no editorial control. It's just raw. It's the truth. It comes as it. Beautify the truth. You don't add anything to the truth. It comes as it is. So we continue to watch developments in our neighboring country, that is Zambia, and we wish our brothers well, and we speak against violence from any quarters. This process should deliver the people-centered results. If Zambians want HH, let it be. If they want the opposition leader at the moment, let it be, and peace reigns in the nation of Zambia. We don't want rigged elections. We don't want the government that forces itself on people, because that will never bring peace. They should learn from what is happening in Zimbabwe. There is never peace because of a democratic leadership. Thank you very much for watching us. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. Also, I'm hearing something. Lawyer, that is Makebi Zulu, has claimed that Tonse Alliance presidential candidate Brian Mundubile and members of his family have been picked up by military personnel from his residency in Kabulonga, Lusaka, and taken to an undisclosed location. According to Mr. Zulu, more than 40 soldiers and other security personnel were allegedly involved in the operation at Mr. Mundubile's residence along Good Road. Mr. Zulu further alleges that Mr. Mundubile and his wife were brutalized during the incident before being forced into a vehicle. The circumstances surrounding the reported operation, the reasons for Mr. Mundubile allegedly being taken away, and his current whereabouts remain unclear. The development comes amid heightened political tension following Thursday's general election and the Electoral Commission of Zambia's decision to suspend the counting and announcement of election results nationwide following reports of violence. We hope that this is not happening, as some of the leaders like Nevas Mumba has actually told the people, and Hakaende Ichilema should not dare do this. Thank you very much for watching us. If you are watching us for the very first, please remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. You can financially support this channel by pressing the join button and be part of our members who are the heartbeat of this channel. You can equally do so by pressing the thanks button and send us stars. Take note that yours truly, Hlonimpane Ncube, has released a new album about 2 days ago. I'm posting the link so that you can choose to listen to all of it, but just give it a chance and listen to the song. I will put on the comment section a link. Thank you very much for watching us once again.